everybody, and welcome to RC Galaxy Reviews. You're probably wondering, I changed the channel to RC Galaxy Reviews because the name RC Scout shared with Red Cat Scout, so whenever you would type my channel in, it would just go to that vehicle. So RC Galaxy Reviews is more of a unique name where when you type it in, it will most likely show up. And today, I've got the new FMS FSC 24 Chaser. This is a new model to FMS models lineup, and in this review, I'll be giving you a full review. I'll be talking about the exterior, we'll be looking at under the body, at the chassis, we'll take it for a drive on my off-road course or basher course, and then I'll give it Marcus's mark, so let's get into it. Before I get into the vehicle, I would like to note that I just got over the flu that I had a couple days ago, and my throat is still a bit raspy, so please forgive me for that. This FMS Chaser has a price tag of $129 US, and it comes in two different colors. This purple and blue, it looks quite busy, and that reminds me of a dragon. If you do follow the Lunar New Year, Happy Year of the Snake. And it comes in this purple, which I have, and a red and yellow, which is shown in this picture. You can also see that it comes in a lot of writing about the vehicle. The box is quite nice and it gives you all the information needed, and it comes really well packaged. Okay, for exterior, no working lights. It's just a body that's unlicensed by FMS. We have some numbers like 37 here on all models, FMS, Chaser, and then some cool colors like pink, yellow, blue, green, FMS Hobby, and then the rear with FMS Racing. The tires grip pretty well on what the car's best at, which is dirt and gravel and bark is what I've found. It is raining here in California, so I haven't driven on dirt, but on the bark and gravel it does a relatively good job. But on just regular streets, the car's tires grip really well when you turn, and if you turn fully, it'll just overturn and flip over. But surprisingly, most of the time, the car has landed face side up, which is quite cool. Okay, let's have a look at the chassis now. Okay, let's take a look at the chassis and how to access it. So, here at the front, we have two clips that you just push in pretty hard, and the front will unlatch and pop out. The rear is definitely a lot more difficult, but if you are bashing, it will hold in place. You can see that I'm definitely struggling right now to get this thing open. There we go. And here, once we get it open, we have a 7.4 volt 900 milliamp 2S LiPo battery, and it's a square battery. It's smaller, but it is strapped in with this strap right here. We have the ESC and our motor below it, the gears, the transmission gear servo, the regular servo, and this car does have a high strength nylon frame or chassis. We have also this independent front suspension with oil, and it is going diagonal right here. And at the rear, we have a straight axle, which means that wherever one tire goes, the other one will go more down. And this is definitely higher up, so the car seems like it's kind of tilting down a bit. Okay, so to turn the car on, we have this little yellow that connects right here. And so we'll turn that on. Then you turn the button to on and push this. You'll see a red light and the car is on. Now to put the car back on, all you have to do is just kind of push it, and then I found that my left side always goes in fully, but my right side doesn't. So I kind of have to push it in a second time. Like that and that. Okay. So this vehicle does come in a 2-speed transmission. It is channel 3, and I find that it's quite useless because the slow crawl isn't good from the motor, and there's no point in a Basher to have a 2-speed gearbox. But first speed, it seems decently speed, but when you're driving in the house or something, it's very slow. And in second gear, it's quicker, and it's very quick actually for in-house speeds, but when you're driving on gravel outside, it actually doesn't seem too quick compared to the Arma Granite Grom, but that is a 1/18 scale, so definitely different. We have the drive shaft right here, and the car feels relatively heavy, and when driving on dirt and stuff, the body definitely doesn't. Well, I was driving a little bit in the rain today, and it kicked up some dirt, but it didn't get in where all the important components are. It just stayed where the body is. Here let's look at the steering. So yeah, it's not great. The angle is pretty poor. This is full on the steering trim, and I'm quite disappointed with how the steering is. I've found that when I'm driving, I could definitely use some more steering. Also, the ground clearance, it seems that it's actually pretty good, and it does come down here, but when I'm driving and there's some little twigs, the car will just high center immediately. We have throttle trim, so if you're, mostly I use it when crawling, but you can just turn the dial up and it'll have a constant drive without you having to touch it at all. And you can see that the wheel speed's not that bad, and the gears shift quickly. If you're traveling and you want to shift immediately, the car will do it very quickly. And I hope you do enjoy the driving footage, and we'll see you back for Marcus's Marks. We are back from Marcus's Marks. I hope you enjoyed the driving footage. And now, let's get into it. For exterior design, the FSC 24 Chaser gets a score of 7 out of 10. I do think that it's not scale and realistic, but I like the colors that FMS have given to us, especially the red. For the chassis design, it gets a score of 7 out of 10 as well, because when it is in dirt, the clips get a little bit difficult to open up, but the body or something about how the vehicle is made, it keeps the important components, battery, ESC, and motor, very clean, which I'm really impressed by. And I did get it very dirty, but once you have opened it up, the overall layout isn't too difficult, except right here where the ESC is on top of the motor. It might be a little more difficult, especially if you are modifying. And let's just get this back on. Okay. For the bashing capabilities, it gets a score of 7 out of 10 too, because I think that it's reasonably fun. It's definitely small. It would be nice if it was at least a 1/18 scale, and it had a little more power. It has plenty of power for in the house or some short course things like this car's meant, but on the type of things I was doing, I was really hoping that FMS would have given a little more power. For the value score, it gets a score of 6 out of 10, because $129 doesn't seem like too much, but when you actually drive the car, it actually seems like it is a little bit pricey for what this car actually gives. But the suspension does do a great job on bumps. For the personal score, it gets a score of 7 out of 10, because while I do like that the car is great indoors, outdoors, on what the type I was doing, I was not super impressed. And I was really hoping that this car would have a little bit more to impress. But it still is a great first truck for beginners, and the car is pretty easy to use and drive. I've also found that this is very durable, and the suspension is very good, like I have said. On-road impressions are actually pretty good just on normal asphalt, and the car does grip and well on the asphalt. I have gotten a little bit of wheelies as well. I will continue trying to find some actual dirt that this car is meant for, and when I'll do, I'll post a short of that. But until then, this is my review of the FSC 24 Chaser. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode of RC Galaxy Reviews.